Welcome back to this Money Control live stream. You're watching Closing Bell with me, Nandita Khemka. Well, it was a range-bound session yet again, with the Nifty ending below that 25,000 mark. Even for the week, we did, manage to get back above that 25,000 mark. In fact, couple of days when we started the week, we saw the Nifty stage a good rebound. But completely fizzled out, and we have been witnessing range trade on the Lal Street for the last two sessions. In fact, all the gains that it made on an intraday basis, it has been consistently giving up all of those gains by the end of the day, and today was no different as well. But broader markets, after 2 days of underperformance, managed to bounce back today. So the mid and small cap indices were outperforming. The breadth was positive once again, just like yesterday. So almost 1:1, but tilted in favor of gainers. Banks, autos and realty, all these rate sensitives were under pressure today. What did well was the IT pack. Despite the margin disappointment by TCS, other IT names like Infosys, Tech Mahindra, HCL Tech, all of them held out. Metals as a pocket were doing well, given the fact that there are expectations that the Chinese government may unveil a $280 billion fiscal stimulus, and there could be a highly anticipated press briefing tomorrow. And on hopes of that, the entire metal pack was shining bright. Pharma, which was a big drag yesterday, managed to bounce back, although Cipla didn't have any such luck. Although Pharma pack rebounded, but Cipla was among the top Nifty laggards today. In terms of gainers, you had the likes of Trent. Tata Group stocks were also in focus once again. We'll talk about that in just a bit. Aside of Trent, we had Hindalco, HCL Tech, Tech Mahindra, Hindustan Unilever, Infosys, these were among the gainers. On the flip side, you had the likes of M&M, that was the top Nifty laggard. TCS, of course, we saw EPS cuts coming in from brokerages after its second quarter performance disappointed street, and this stock was, of course, among the laggards. ICICI Bank, Cipla, Power Grid, Maruti were some of the other laggards on the index. From the broader end of the markets, you had the likes of Usha Martin, Bandhan Bank, double delight for the bank, so to say. Appointment of MD and CEO being approved, as well as some other news which we will of course be talking about as well. So the stock was among the top Nifty 500 gainers. Nippon Life, Triveni Turbine, even BSC, these were some of the other movers on the Nifty 500 index. On the losing end, you had Cummins on the back of a downgrade. Credit Access Grameen, that stock was also downgraded, so that stock was also among the laggards. Star Health continues to be under pressure, and Saregama among the other laggards. Let's bring on board our guest for today. Then on that note, Ashish Bahety, Technical and Derivative Research Analyst, joining in this afternoon. Ashish, great to have you on the show. Any attempts to reclaim that 25,000 mark, were unsuccessful. We've ended the week below that level. For the next week particularly, what would you be watching out for, especially since we have that China stimulus, to watch out for over the weekend?
Yeah, good afternoon. The overall structure of Nifty is still, I'll say, kind of stable. Here we are seeing Reliance, at least the selling has been stopped in Reliance. The entire whole of week we have seen Reliance being one of the biggest dragger for Nifty. But at least we can say last 2 or 3 trading sessions, Reliance has been very quiet. And overall, all the large caps is taking a hit. So be it TCS, Reliance, HDFC. Overall structure of Nifty remains stable compared to Bank Nifty. I think we may see next week levels of 24,400 again in Nifty. One can go long in Nifty by keeping a stop loss of one should maintain a stop loss now of 24,800 in Nifty. Vice versa, if I speak about Bank Nifty, here we are seeing a lot of pressure continuously. Today also we've seen ICICI being a dragger, and there's been a lot of selling pressure in ICICI and in Axis along with HDFC. So we are advising to avoid Bank Nifty for the time being, and one can go long in Nifty.
All right. Before I move on to stocks, I want to get in your thoughts on the overall volumes. Given the fact that weekly expiry contracts, have been will be discontinued for the Nifty Bank Index, Mid Cap Index, and Financial Nifty, Services Index as well from the 20th of November, right? Only the Nifty weekly expiry contract will be retained. Given the fact that the Nifty Bank, weekly expiry contributed 50% to NSE's option premium volumes, that was NSE's biggest contract. How much of an impact do you envisage on volumes as a result of this move?
Uh, According to us, there will be a massive volume hit because Bank Nifty has been favorite of traders as a stock, as a product, and right from the inception, Bank Nifty have always gained a lot of attraction. Nifty is yet to catch up the level of Bank Nifty popularity. So I think discontinuation of Bank Nifty will want to take a massive hit in the volume side. But I think overall, the volume will want to shift to the Nifty, but I think there will be at least 20 to 25% volume dip cumulative.
Okay, expected 20 to 25% kind of a volume dip. But on that note, let's talk about the stocks that are on our radar this afternoon. Of course, TCS being one. The numbers came out yesterday. It was a disappointment. Of course, it was the margin disappointment was mainly because of higher third-party expenses, company-specific, and of course, we also had the rupee hitting a record low, right? So other IT companies were doing well, but TCS, had some bit of EPS cuts coming in from brokerages, which is why it was among the top laggards within the IT pack. Uh, on the charts, which one do you prefer now?
So we have been very vocal that one should shift from large cap IT to mid cap IT. I think even next 2 3 quarters we want to see a good run up in mid cap ITs. Persistent remains our top pick from the mid cap IT along with the LTTS and Birlasoft. It was our call also today morning in your sequence channel, and I think Persistent, the way it rallied today, 4.5% of momentum, it regained its 20-day EMA, and the way it is now holding up, it's very close to its all-time high level of 55.80. I'm sure in this earnings session, it will surpass its all-time high, and we may see even 5,700 level in Persistent coming trading sessions. One can go long by keeping a stop loss of 53.50 here.
Okay, that's the view. But all rest of the Tata Group companies were also in focus, right? The likes of Trent, which had a down day yesterday, but staged a good comeback today. Tata Chemicals and Tata Investments were also rallying for a second day on the trot. Of course, it's back on the back of news flow, right? Just a day after Ratan Tata's demise, as he would have wanted that the show must go on. CNBC TV 18 has exclusively reported that Noel Tata has been appointed as the chairman of Tata Trusts. Now, Tata Trust has unanimously elected Noel Tata as the chairman, and the voices that CNBC had on this bit of news, all of them have said that the appointment of Noel Tata was not unexpected, and the continuity will be maintained at the Tata Group. And of course, Noel Tata, as we all know, has turned around the likes of Trent, and he's a man who keeps to himself. Even though he's led the transformation at Trent, he kept to himself. Chartically talking about all the stocks that I mentioned, Trent, Tata Investments, how are things looking? Any preference?
Oh, I mean, both Tata Chemical and Trent has been viewed. I mean, chart structure, the way Trent Tata Chem is moving is yesterday it was a 4.5% rally. Today also we have seen a good volume and momentum. Though stock being in ban yet in FNO ban, yet we are seeing such a nice swing in Tata Chem. We are anticipating that Tata Chem may hit 1240 level, so one can buy in cash levels Tata Chemical stocks and by keeping a stop loss of 1150. Similarly, Trend has been a multi-bagger, and every dip gets bought in, and it's been continuously making higher highs pattern. Today also it managed to close its near to its all-time high trajectory. And I think Trend is well placed to hit 8800 level. So one can go long in any dip. We are advising to accumulate only in dip trend by keeping a stop loss of 7900. One can go long in the any dip.
Okay, that's the view on Trent, and even Tata Chemicals looking good on the charts. But one stock that was among the top laggards on the Nifty 500 index was Cummins India. Now it has been downgraded to sell, by Goldman Sachs. Target price is at 2,900 rupees. Just to give you a brief, the brokerage outlined three primary factors behind its pessimistic outlook for the stock. In fact, the most important one being the growing adoption of battery energy storage systems and other alternative energy solutions. Now, as industries increasingly shift towards sustainable energy sources, the demand for diesel generators is expected to decline significantly in the medium to long term. Now, this trend poses a substantial threat to Cummins India's core business, which has historically relied on diesel-powered generators. Now, Goldman Sachs believes that near-term margin will come under pressure, and medium-term growth is also seen moderating. After today's almost 6% fall on the stock, how would you play it? Do you see more downside? Because, of course, this means that the earnings outlook for the company becomes hazy.
Yeah, it's been one of the big, I think, the biggest F&O loser for the day, and the way short build-up has been made here, I think it may even drop to 34.40 level. So one can go short, or any bounce, one can create a short position here by keeping a stop loss of 3,700, and for the target of 34.40.
All right. Another stock, that was buzzing today was Bandhan Bank. A couple of good news. Of course, RBI has cleared the appointment of Partha Pratim Sengupta as the CEO and MD of the company, of the bank rather. The National Credit Guarantee Trustee Company also, after conducting a forensic audit of the claims made by the bank regarding its loan portfolio under the Credit Guarantee Fund for Micro Units, has stated that the total claim payout to the bank under the scheme is somewhere around 1231 crore rupees as of March 31st. But they've already settled the bank's first claim of 916 crore rupees. So they will pay an additional claim of a little over 300 crore rupees to the bank. So this comes as good news, as well as the appointment of MD, or clearance of the appointment of MD and CEO. The stock was up somewhere around, I think, 8% or thereabouts, if I'm not mistaken, although the stock was in the F&O ban for today. Within the other, banking stocks, how would you really look at Bandhan Bank charts now? Do you think the worst is over in terms of how the charts will behave from here on?
Yeah, that's a classic case that why one should avoid stocks which are in ban, or one should avoid keeping the position of the on the stocks which are in ban. This is the one stock which has been always been underperforming Bank Nifty and the private sector bank. The stock has been continuously trading below 200 DEMA averages. And today, after the news, there was a clear short covering we are seeing in this, and there was a massive rally. Almost stock went till 14% during the intraday. And the volume, if you'll see, there's almost 127 million volume which clocked in the stock. In cash, we are suggesting it to go long because stock has regained its 200 DEMA. And the news flow is also positive, so one can chase the momentum here by keeping a stop loss of 204 in this stock. It's a little high beta stock, and has been in the past. There's always been a supply concern in this stock because every time it used to bounce back, it used to be supply. But I think this time, after the new CEO appointment, we may see the price may stabilize here. So one can go long by keeping a stop loss of 204 for the near time target of 220.
All right, that's the view on Bandhan Bank. I want to ask you, your thoughts on IREDA. The stock gave up all of its gains today, in the sense that I think towards the last hour, it slumped somewhere around 2.5% or thereabouts. Reported numbers pretty decent, 36% growth in profit, and net interest income rose over 50% on a YY basis. But if you look at the stock, performance, it has risen almost over 350% from its 52-week lows. And if you look at the YTD charts, it's up over 120%. It has doubled. Would you take a bet on this stock at these levels?
Even today's, we've seen a gap up opening, and then there was a supply in this stock, and it ended up at almost 2% down. I think the traders should at least avoid this stock. Has been post the IPO, the stock has seen a massive rally, and then there's been a consolidation. We are anticipating it may dip even, or there might be some profit taking after the result. So one should avoid this stock. If anybody is holding long, can book his profit here.
Okay, avoid the stock, and if you have long positions, look at booking profits. But one stock that will be in focus on Monday would be D-Mart, because numbers are coming out tomorrow. Expectations are that store additions and stable margins will support earnings growth. Profit growth is likely at 17% on a YY basis, according to the Money Control poll. And, it is expected to report a 13.2% kind of a YY increase in revenues. Although in its business update, it has already said that revenues will be around 14% or thereabouts. Same store sales growth and changes in revenue per square foot will be some of the key factors to watch out for. Today the stock ended lower, just about 1% or thereabouts. But would you be taking a trade on this stock if the numbers match expectations?
Yeah. Yeah, you're talking about D-Mart, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct, D-Mart.
Yeah, the stock has been in pressure after the recent update by the management and the Q2 update which came, and we've seen some of the brokerages report also downgrading it. Uh, the stock slide from 5,400 to almost now 4,500. It is making a base near its 200 EMA, which is where which is placed at 4,500. I think one should be cautious if the numbers are muted because it was a little weak quarter for the FMCG companies. We may see even more correction in this stock, and stock may slide even to 4,300 level. So one should stay cautious. Don't preempt the trade. I mean, watch the numbers and take a position only once the prices stabilize.
All right, that's for you. But one last talk. I want your thoughts on Sudarshan Chemicals. In the last half an hour of trade, there was news flow around this stock. The company has or will acquire global pigment business of Hubak Group for 1180 crore rupees. We saw a knee-jerk reaction. The stock gaining by almost 20% or thereabouts. What's the outlook here on the charts? Would you take a bet at least for the medium to long term?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a almost 20% or upper circuit which got hit today, and the volume spike. There's a clear price volume breakout in this stock. One can go long or chase the momentum in this stock. It's been a fabulous multi-bagger, and it's been consistently making higher rise pattern and moving in a upward channel. So one can go long here, or any dip is advised to add to your positions by keeping a stop loss of 1100. We are anticipating, if the way the news flow has priced in, we may see even 1400 in this stock.
All right, that's the view on Sudarshan Chemical. But before I let you go, Ashish, we are entering into an earnings heavy week. Just about started. The earnings season has just about started with TCS. Any stocks that you would be recommending for our viewers with a 1 to 2 week perspective?
Yeah, so we are bullish and persistent. I think the mid cap IT may outperform the entire large cap IT pack, and one can go long in specifically mid cap IT stock. Persistence remains our top pick in this space. The second stock which is looking good is overall reality. I think the way from last four trading sessions, price is making higher high pattern, and we may see stock hitting even 1980 zone. 1980. So one can go long for the target of 1980 by keeping a stop loss of 1860, 1860.
All right, those are the picks. In fact, persistent system, one of the top picks from Ashish. With that, Ashish, would like to thank you for taking out time and joining in this afternoon and sharing your thoughts with us. I wish you a happy weekend and a happy Dussehra as well.
Same.
Thank you. Well, on that note, of course, we've come to the end of this edition of Closing Bell. We've ended the week below that 25,000 mark, but it will, or it promises to be, an earnings-heavy week next week. And of course, we also have the China stimulus if it comes by to digest on Monday morning. So metal pack will be in focus, and of course, D-Mart reports earnings over the weekend, and lots of other heavyweights will also be reporting numbers next week. So busy earnings season ahead and busy week ahead. But you guys. Have a great weekend, and wishing all our viewers a very happy Dussehra. From me and the entire team that put the show together, thanks a lot for watching. Stay tuned to Money Control for all your other news and updates.